Hey, today we're going to go over all of the things that you can control to make sure you're on your coach and your team's good side. So stick around. Hey, so as you probably know, we have over 15,000 players that train with us every single month and thousands of soccer families that are in our free Facebook group. One of the biggest issues that I see time and time again is this hinting to or alluding to that maybe my team or my coach isn't very happy with me, okay? And so how do we make sure that we're doing everything we can to be on their good side? And this goes way beyond something as simple as like, hey, try and be nice, okay? So if you're not doing that, if you're literally all over the backs of your coach or you have things to say or you're grumbling, kind of you're tripping over your own feet, okay? You're getting in your own way. But what are some other things that maybe you're not aware of that lets everyone else know that you're a serious contributor to their goals and your team's goals and that they should like you, okay? So the first thing is are you controlling the things that you can control, right? So you can't control if you're big and fast and strong, right? We can do the training to develop those things, and we can do the training to develop ourselves technically, and hopefully we're doing those, right? We're getting in the extra touches, we're getting in our workouts, we're doing the things that we want to do. But I'm talking about just the very simple things that convey an attitude of, I'm here to be a part of the team and contribute the best that I can do with where I am on my development path, okay? So the first thing is, are you showing up prepared, right? Are you the kind of player that you're showing up, you're on time, you've got your boots on, you got, your ball, if you're supposed to have your ball with you, all of your water taken care of when you're at the tournaments? Are you the one that shows up and you've got everything ticked off, okay? And if you don't have these kind of things, let's get a habit or a ritual, right? So we've got a program called Renegade Way. It's mental toughness. So let me give you a goodie right out of this. One of the easiest things that you can do is to just take a zip cord, right? And put it right through a laminated piece of paper on the outside of your bag and create a checklist. I don't care if you're as smart as a surgeon or an airplane pilot or an astronaut. They have checklists to go through. So the fact that you're like a young player, a young mind, and you got a million things going on in your life and you don't have a checklist to make sure that you have it right, everything I need in my bag. Okay, so when mom and dad picks you up and you're gonna go to practice, bang, I am all set and ready to go. So that should be a ritual for you, right? And if you have a smartphone already, if you're old enough to have a smartphone, get that alarm to go off and have it go off like 10-15 minutes before your practice. That goes off. I've got my homework wrapped up. I've done my extra touches training, okay? And we can talk about that later, but I've done my extra touches training and now I'm getting ready to go. And here's my bag, and I know mom and dad is gonna come in, they're gonna be tired from work, they're gonna be doing everything they can do. Do I have my stuff prepared, right? So let's get that little laminated checklist, okay? And go down the checklist. Do I have my ball? Do I have my, my water? Do I have my goo or my snack that I would need in the middle of practice if you're used to, refueling in the middle of practice? Do I have my socks? Do I have everything that I need to be ready to go? Okay, so there's a checklist for you. Super easy habit and ritual that we've created right there. Okay, so am I ready to go? How is your work ethic at practice? Okay, so a lot of times it's funny because as a sports performance coach, I really never worry about getting a kid fit, like getting a player fit, right? So whether you're a young lady, young man, I'm not worried about it because I know that I have my practice set up to where my work and my rest time is very structured. So I know exactly the training stimulus that's there. But sometimes coaches, they're just like part-time coaches, or maybe they're kind of trying new things. And so sometimes during practice, that intensity lags, or maybe somebody comes over and talks to them, they're trying to help out a player, and instead of a 60-second water break, you end up with a 3 or 4 minute water break. And so sometimes not all coaches integrate their fitness training right into their practice. So the question is like, are you putting forth that work ethic? Because a lot of times I'll be out on the pitch and I'm an older player and I'll play with like a bunch of semi-pro players and I'm like, hey, let's practice into fitness. So are you making every single recovery run that you can? Because like in practice, you might as well not hold back, right? Because there's no like 90th minute where you might lose the game or something like that. So are you tracking back? Are you making every run possible? And you're like, well, my legs are gonna be super tired or I'm gonna be totally worn out if I do that. Yes, that's called getting fit, right? So are you playing hard-nosed defense? Are you running on both sides of the ball? Are you doing all the things that you can to get into fitness? Because I'll tell you what that shows. If I'm a coach walking from the sideline, or I'm a player that's, one of the better players on your team, and I see you giving that amazing effort all the time on the pitch, you're doing it to get fit. But what they see is a player that is committed to playing on both sides of the ball, not sulking, really getting after it. And they're like, wow, this person's really a go-getter. So that way, if you miss the cross or you miss the shot or things like that, a lot of those things can be forgiven if you make a technical error at some point in time, because they know your heart is in the right place. And what happens is as you get fitter and fitter, guess what? In the games, you're able to make more runs. So in those impactful situations, you're there and your lungs have been built up and your legs have been built up. So where another player might not even be able to make that run to go score, you're going to get more scoring chances, or you're going to get back and you're going to be able to thwart their scoring chances because you've built yourself up. And the whole time, what everybody else sees, great attitude. That player is working their booty off on the pitch, okay? So are you showing up? What's your work ethic? Going along with this, right? What is your effort when it comes to it? Are you getting down and you doing the slide tackles when you're supposed to, right? Somebody's making a run back and you go up and you lose the ball, and instead of sulking, which we'll talk about in a second with body language, are you tracking back and tracking that player down and getting numbers behind the ball, right? That's such a tactical, huge thing. Numbers behind the ball. So every single time, are you doing the effort you need? When the ball's up in the air, even if you're not sure you're going to win that ball in the air, are you getting in there and busting stuff up in the air as best you can? Not following anybody, but busting stuff up and, busting your hump to get on the end of that ball, because you never know. You literally never know. So are you putting forth the effort? Okay. Now the next one comes down to body language. And of course, we get very frustrated with ourselves at times when we make a mistake, because it's not only the voice in our head, but then you start being, well, what's my coach thinking about me? What's my team thinking about me, right? There's this great movie out there, and you're not ready to watch it yet because it's a rated R movie, but it's called Last Samurai, right? And there's a scene where Tom Cruise is in there, and he's getting ready to basically spar with a sword with this amazing samurai warrior, right? He's basically probably the best warrior in this samurai clan, right? And so he's getting that. But he's starting to think about, hey, I'm trying to think about all the different moves I'm going to do with the sword, and then I'm worried about the people that are watching me, and I'm worried about what he's gonna do, and I'm worried about how do I fit in, because I'm a Westerner and they're all from Japan, right? And so he's thinking about all these things, and one of the guys runs over, you got too many minds. Stop worrying about that. Just concentrate on the task at hand. Too many minds, okay? And so many times our body language on the outside, we might just be frustrated with ourselves and hoping that we're doing more and we're kind of embarrassed about things or whatever. But what everybody else sees from the outside is somebody that's over there sulking because they lost the ball and they're not tracking back and they're not giving that huge effort. And so all of a sudden it's like, you've got a bad attitude. But it all stems from the fact that you're disappointed in yourself for not doing better at that moment. Stop all that. Too many minds. All you have to worry about is continually, at this moment, am I doing the best that I can do? The outcome is kind of irrelevant. We put so much pressure on it, right? We go to fancy tournaments and everything else. The outcome is irrelevant. In fact, how many times do you think Ronaldo tripped over the top of the ball when he was scissoring when he was younger? How many times do you think he chopped and made a mistake? We never think about that because he's making tens of millions of euros right now in the UEFA leagues, right? But we never think about that. How many times did he have to fail and do poorly in order to master all of those skills? Thousands and thousands of the times he looked like a goofball, right? But what he didn't do, and I promise you because he's a champion, what he didn't do is start sulking and kick the ground and everything else. What he did is if he fell over the top of that ball and a defender got away, he immediately got back and got numbers down, right? Numbers up on defense. So that's the next thing is your body language. Don't get down on yourself. You can analyze after practice, but right now, be completely present, be excited about being there, and give that effort. Give that good attitude, okay? Also comes down to energy. Are you showing up? Are you fueling your body right? Are you getting the sleep you're supposed to? Are you like staying up late to, scroll in social media or, watch yet another show which actually has no long-term effect on your life whatsoever, right? Or are you getting to bed early? Are you turning off getting a digital sunset? We call it a digital sunset, an hour before you go to bed. Let your mind cool off so you can fall right asleep and get some restful sleep, okay? Are you getting the nutrition and fueling your body? I mean, it's your body. You get one of them, right? Are you giving it the fuel you need to be a race car, or are you, stuffing trash in your mouth, okay? So are you showing up with energy? The final one that's really controllable about you is, are you coachable? And this not only means from your coach, but from your other teammates that are around you, okay? Now you might be the superstar, you might be the natural leader, but that does not mean even the kid that's sitting on the bench doesn't have something to add to your game, right? Where all of a sudden we're so protected and we're so used to like everything has to be perfect, and especially it comes from our school system, right? Everything has to be perfect, everything has to be perfect. In real life, you're gonna fail thousands and thousands and thousands of times, but only if you wanna be a true hero, right? You can play it safe and not fail at all, and you're gonna be absolutely mediocre. The heroes fail day in and day out. The fastest path to mastery, the fastest path to doing something amazing is fail and learn, and fail and adapt, and fail and grow, okay? So all of that time when somebody's giving you, they're opening up and they're trying to say, hey, try this out. Trust me, might not work for you. Doesn't matter, okay? Because you have to fail thousands of times. One little bit of feedback, you have to be coachable. You have to take that in. You have to have a mind of a child, okay? So the child shows up and they wonder what's possible. And then as you get older and you start doing things, you're like, oh, that's not possible. And you start forming things in your head, opinions in your head. Have the mind of a child. Return back to that very simple thing when you're putting on your boots. It's one of the rituals I always go out there with, is I'm gonna learn today, I'm gonna give a ton of effort, and I'm gonna take in all the feedback that I possibly can, because all it's gonna do is help me out in the end if I'm willing to take it in, synthesize it, and integrate it into my own wisdom, okay? So, if you ever feel like, hey, you know what, I might be on the outs a little bit with my team or my coach, go ahead and watch this video. Take some notes. Am I doing the things that I can control to make sure that they are loving me as a player, so that they all understand that not only am I giving my effort when I'm away, but when I'm there, I'm conveying to them that I am fully bought in towards the team's goals. I hope this helped out, and I'll see you in the next video.